about everything.
Yeah.
Sex life and everything.
Yeah, why not?
So, what's your favorite position?
On top. My boss.
What? That would be nice for the bloopers. What's up, guys? Welcome to another episode of the Kisscapades Podcast. And today I have a very beautiful friend of mine who I'm featuring in the podcast. Like I said before we had some technical difficulties. Future baby mama, perhaps.
Telling you,
What-
even
what-
the
what do you
machines
feel
are
about
not
that?
ready.
So, I'll just let her introduce herself and then we can take this podcast away because, I really want to talk so much.
I'm excited to
About
be
so
here.
much. Mhm.
I'm really excited you finally reached out, finally being the keyword.
Hey.
Hi, my name is Sheila Rabala. I
Yeah.
am a food blogger, recipe developer,
Yeah.
fantastic mom.
Mm-hmm.
At least, I think I am.
Yummy mommy.
I'm a yummy mom.
MILF. Aye.
Wait. Man's a pema.
So anyway, let's start off with, the podcast is all about the balance of life.
Okay.
Health, wealth, love, and happiness.
Yeah.
And I think the moment you miss like one, you always seem to be desperate, searching it in the wrong places or just trying to figure it out, and it always brings confusion if you just start lacking one.
Yeah, it does.
Mhm.
And also with time, I think as we grow older is when we're learning to prioritize them.
Yes.
Because you realize you're changing the priorities.
It's not even
in
just
terms
about
of-
money
Yeah.
only. It's not just about lovey-dovey just alone.
Yeah, and it's a balance. Like you've said, it's a balance, all of them in
Yeah.
moderation.
Mhm.
They should all be in moderation. You can't have too much of one overshadowing the other.
Mm-hmm.
So-
Can't have too much money.
More money, more problems.
Well. Wouldn't you rather have those? Would you
Yeah,
rather
I would
have money
rather.
problems?
Do you know that funny thing they say you'd rather cry in a Mercedes than
I understand.
be happy?
Even at times, but if you think about it properly, like you'd rather just be crying there by then.
I don't know. Okay.
If you have bills to take care of,
Yes.
medical conditions, there's many things and places where money comes in.
But that's why I said the balance. Okay, you can.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
how do you term too much money? What is too much money?
Owning Apple company money. That's too much money.
Because at the end of the day, you have that. If you do have that amount of money, I believe then you're in a position to make great changes around the world. Then it stops being too much money,
True.
because those problems will always be there. But if you
What
just
Bill
make
Gates is doing,
what
right?
exactly their foundations to build, their countries to develop, and so I don't think there's a thing like too much money,
Aye.
unless you're going to take all of that and just like swim in it.
It's okay. If you say so. I've seen people winning lottery and just killing
Showing
themselves
up
because
in
they don't
masks.
even know what they're supposed to do with the money. But
Okay.
let's start with work.
Okay. Yeah.
Because this platform is just to highlight and just guide people on like even maybe career directions if possible. Because like right now, where would you go and get like a nice segment, where you can pick like career tips? Because a lot of us are just like
Winging
our
it.
own bosses and winging it, trying to
Winging
figure it out.
Yeah, figuring
Yeah.
it out day by day.
So how would you describe what you do for a living, or what do you do for a living?
Well, I do work for myself.
Yeah.
Rabala's Delights is my brand.
Yeah.
And I develop recipes. Basically, I work with brands and their food products and drink products to come up with recipes and ways that they can showcase their products to my audience.
Yeah.
And I get paid to do that.
Mhm.
And I've been very fortunate that it has been able to support me and my family doing that.
Basically, what that means is that she gets big checks for what she does.
I
That's
didn't
that's
say
what
that.
she's trying to
I
say.
didn't say that.
Mhm.
I did not say
When
that.
somebody says I've been fortunate enough, just
I like you said, it's not only about the money.
yeah, not true.
It's also just the experience that I've been able to acquire from what I do.
Yeah.
And I love that. But for me, food started out at home. My love of
Yeah.
food. My father was a pastry chef.
Mm-hmm.
And I was raised by a stepfather. He's British, which again changed my view of food.
Mm.
So I grew up on I don't call it mzungu food, but I grew up on lamb
Expensive
chops.
taste.
No.
Expensive
Like
taste.
grew up on baked potatoes and lamb chops and
yeah.
mashed
like the
potatoes
whole
and
English
gravy.
culture
Yes.
and
So when I was in high school,
yeah.
when I got to high school,
Mm-hmm.
and I was now in the position to interact with my friends, and I went to their houses, I started getting different cuisines. They didn't taste the same.
Mm-hmm.
And
They're like, hey, you
What's
guys
different?
eat ugali and
no,
kale.
I mean, ugali we ate. Ugali we ate.
But I'm sure it was presented in a way
Different.
much different way
It was
than
a bit different.
Yeah.
And then also, in high school, I fell in love with the sciences.
Mm.
So when it came to choosing a course that I would do in university, I knew I wanted to do biomedical sciences. I wanted
Biomedical
to,
science.
I wanted to work like in Kemri level 4, handling Ebola.
I don't even know
like
what that is, first of all. Okay, I know what Ebola is, but I don't know what Kemri is.
Kemri, Kenya Medical Research Institute, where all the diseases
Now I know,
are.
now I know. Not that I'd be interested in
So you
doing
know,
research
you watch
about...
all those horror movies, the guys.
Yes,
like,
yes, yeah.
That's what I envisioned my life. Me,
Uh-huh.
like test
Microscope,
tubes,
Nini.
microscopes,
Yeah.
finding the cure of something.
Yeah.
Then at that time, I was in 844 system.
So that
So you-
means food at this point you've actually just...
It was just something I enjoyed at
that
home.
you do at home, yeah.
with my dad.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So, you know, when you finished fourth form, you had this 2-year wait period.
Mm-hmm.
So I asked my parents if I could move to Tanzania. That's where my sister was staying,
Mm-hmm.
and just, hang out there for 2 years and then come
Chill,
back.
yeah.
So when I was there, my sister was the food and
You're
beverage
chilling
manager.
for 2 years or 1 year,
It
Sheila?
was 2 years, 2001 to 2003.
I'm just saying, like, people used to take like a 1 year break. Now that I think of it, you took 2.
I took 2.
Okay. Uh-huh.
So I was in TZ for 2 years. My sister at that time was the F&B manager of Sheraton, Dar es Salaam.
Mm.
And she immersed me into the kitchen, and I
Yeah.
saw that lifestyle. I loved it.
Mm-hmm.
I used to work for a football club.
A football club? Football?
Yeah, I used to be a graphic designer.
You're lying.
So basically,
Wait. All these random things that you just...
So first I used to design, you know how that's when these plastic cards came, so I was doing the membership cards
Oh, yeah. Uh-huh.
for Simba. And at that time is when
Why are you
I-
saying it like that for Simba?
for Simba. I still love Simba. I'm such a Simba girl. Go Simba.
Uh-huh.
And for those 2 years, it was fantastic.
Yeah.
I got immersed into bongo flavor also
Mm.
at that time. That's the first time I met.
Mr. Nani, what's his name? Diamond, or?
No, then we had. And now people are going to know how old I am. Juma Nature.
Now people... No,
But then Professor J was just an artist.
Yeah.
He was not a politician.
Yeah.
And then East Coast
Most of them were
Family.
just coming up. They were not like... They were just like...
Can I give a random story?
Yeah.
East Coast Family. I'm there. I used to have this like small shack office.
Yeah.
And these guys come in and they have all this swag and they're like, we're East Coast Family.
Yeah.
We want a logo.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, sure. So
Uh-huh.
we're designing. East Coast Family, let me make you laugh.
Yeah.
Was AY,
Mhm.
Monefe, Crazy GK, and some other guys. And that's how I met them.
Oh, yeah.
At that time, I'm just a Kenyan girl who doesn't know who these people are. I'm just like,
Wait, do you still talk?
moving on.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
after I left, I was working not really working, but seeing my sister working in that environment, I
Yeah.
fell in love with it. I fell in love
Food,
with
kitchen, presentation.
at the hotel level.
Yeah. Mhm.
So when I came back to Kenya and went to university and I was allowed to change my course
Yeah.
from biomedical sciences
To
to hotel and institution management, I did it immediately.
Uh-huh.
Long story short, I ended up doing an internship at Mombasa Serena.
Yeah.
Lovely. That's when I learned how to work with seafood because it was fresh from the sea. And then
all these stories like now make sense because when somebody sees like your Instagram, like at times I'm like, who makes food like this at home?
I love it.
Possibly.
I really like it's just in me. I love it.
That's why I'm just saying, like, you have like a boyfriend, somebody that you're with, someone you're
I
dating.
can fatten up.
No, that's not a good thing. That's the biggest disadvantage of now dating someone like
But
you.
you see, now that's the thing. You guys see
So
the
you
good side.
feed someone.
Yeah, because not everything comes out perfectly. You eat the good and the bad.
Oh, you experiment.
Yeah,
Are they experimental
the
food as well?
because you remember I'm developing a recipe and
Yeah.
they don't always work out.
Yeah.
But since this is dinner, you just take this and the Ino will be here just in case.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
But
So yeah, now
My manager at the hotel told me, Sheila, don't stay in the hotel industry. It will kill your spirit.
Oh.
Because ideally, you're not supposed to be talking to the guests all the time. Sheila was always yapping, talking to guests all the time. And then that's when MTV VJ came through. I auditioned for Mombasa. I won the Mombasa leg of the VJ search. Came to Nairobi.
Now I remember.
You see how old I am? I feel like
now
I've been
listen,
everywhere.
chill. Age ain't nothing but a number.
Yeah. It's a mindset.
Plus, you see, here's the thing. When you're like 16, when you're told someone is like, let's say, even if you're told someone is 22 or 23, you're like, hey, that person is old. Hey, you get there. You get 25. Like, hey, okay, those people are old. Now from there, I don't even want to start saying any other numbers because now you're starting like, oh shit, I used to be that kid who was saying like other people are old, and then you're actually like a grown up. Yeah. But now you realize how being a grown up, you're just the same old person. You're still trying to figure a lot of shit out. You're trying to move day by day.
But so VJ, the audition allowed me to know that I wanted to be in media.
Yeah.
That's when I worked with Homeboys Radio, which was amazing.
And that explains like, how she can actually just speak well next to the microphone. You have a radio voice, first of all. You know that, right?
Do you know, I can't stand the sound of my own voice.
No, everybody says that. Did you ever used to use like headphones when you're at Homeboys? Or you're those people like, I don't want to hear my voice?
Just to make sure that I wasn't shouting or distorting.
Yeah.
But I wasn't actually listening
to
myself.
But everybody that I shoot with nowadays, they're like, oh, I don't like how I sound bad. Even I used to be like that.
Even Madonna is like that. When I heard that, I was like,
it's in. Everyone says that. First of all, everyone just says that until now. You do it over and over and over again. Be like, you should do like your podcast and do it about food and everything.
Oh yeah, that's definitely. You're inspiring me. I will definitely do it. Yeah. So, real quick, I'm gonna go real fly. After radio, I worked in print in industrial area, offset printing.
Wait,
from offset
how do you
printing.
move from like radio and then now to? Because here's the thing, all these things you're talking about, it's things that you're passionate about, right? So you can't just be passionate about all these things and then you just keep either quitting
when you go
what happened for you to leave radio?
When you go into certain things, you realize, like for example, my fight with radio is I love radio. Yeah. But I love my privacy. Mm-hmm. And at that time, there was an interest in presenters that was. So you wake up and you've been quoted in the newspaper saying something that, and you've never even even known. And it was messing up.
Start now defending yourself. It's just like too.
It became too much, and then I just had a baby. So I was really enjoying my privacy, and
you don't
was not
want
allowing me to have that.
Yeah.
So I decided to try something new, and took my skills, my interpersonal skills, to now do sales and marketing for offset printer.
That's just
in industrial area.
A big shift.
I enjoyed it
but here's the thing, one very important thing, like when you're in a job like place, how do you just become like a free spirit? And if you don't like something, you just switch. Because the one difficult thing that people have right now is like if you get a job, a lot of people who do like an 8 to 5, they're going there because of that security. Mm-hmm. But you just wake up one day, you're doing this. The next time you wake up like, this one, okay, me, I want privacy. You move. But what a surety do you have? I'm good.
My family asked me the same thing.
Yeah.
My brother actually asked me, I think over Christmas, how do you just get up and go? Yeah. For me, peace of mind above everything else.
Everything.
Above everything.
Mental well-being.
Peace of mind. So, and especially when it comes to work, it's very easy to walk away. At least for me, that's how it's been.
If you have a rich boyfriend?
No, not necessarily. There have been hard times. Mm-hmm. There have been very hard times. Yeah. You scale down.
What's been the hardest obstacle you've had to go through, just in that journey of evolving in different jobs? We'll get back to printing and then pick it up from there.
I think in all of it, it's as a mom to make sure that everything is provided for your child. The main things, healthcare, insurance.
And you can't say okay, today let's skip a meal today.
You can say for you.
Yeah.
But
your
for
kid,
them,
you have to. Yeah.
You can't compromise education. You can't compromise warmth, health. So those have been my pushing, and sometimes it's reached a point. I think it was last year actually. I sold my car. I was like, okay, last year with all politics and elections, many clients took a step back. You know how
don't even mention it. Like, wait, was it last year or last year but one?
It was last year.
Wait, elections?
Election 2017. When was it?
We're talking of last year. Okay, it's just because the year has just started, but it's last year but one.
Last year but one.
Huh?
Well, now you've even confused me.
Okay, so I'll just continue the story. So before
it was last year that one. Yeah, that whole time.
Yeah, it slowed things a bit because things were really good. Like even for me, I can remember I was just seeing my projections. I was like, and then even my rate card, I'm like, okay, let me just keep quiet now. I can't start talking about my rate card and nobody's.
Yeah, so you see, that was happening on this side. And remember, your own boss. If that client is not there, there's nothing you can do. But the bills are still there.
Yeah.
The bills are still there. So that was a rough time for me. After that whole election thing, I was so pissed. I was like,
everyone was upset.
Oh
like
God,
even for me, I was like,
so
I remember I was just looking at my bank balance and I'm like, fuck. If this continues, if things continue this way, I do not know how we're going to survive in the country. But everybody was going through that, and I can only imagine now
I was
that.
going to start catering at political functions. If you guys gonna go.
Yeah, you'd rather just do that. Plus, I can only imagine now you having like a kid, and the kid is like, how you can just now, once you grow up, you actually start appreciating parents differently.
Yeah.
And for me, I love my mom a lot.
Yeah.
A lot. Because now I look back at the things that she's done for me.
Then you realize.
I didn't even give like 2 cents or even just put into consideration like, hey, she didn't do this and this. She had to hold back on this journey that she was pursuing to make these things work for me. And that's why like nowadays, let's say I'm with a friend or just random people and somebody says something bad about their mom, especially their mom. I either wake up and walk away or we can't be friends.
Yeah.
Because you can't talk shit about your mom. You can't. Your dad's sour. Yeah, you can do that all day. That's not a problem.
You see, for us ladies, especially after you have your own baby, you're just like, Mom.
Yeah.
By the way.
Yeah.
Santi.
Yeah, because you understand.
Yeah.
Mom's sacrifice like the most. So I just respect and.
So definitely, her name is Jay. She's always at the forefront of everything I do. So even though I'm making this decision to leave, that means I have to work 10 times harder.
Yeah.
On my next step, on the next project. And
are you married?
No, I'm not.
Okay. We'll talk about that. I push my buttons.
No, it's okay.
Because we've talked about,
things.
Yeah.
So print after print, I ended up as a personal assistant to partners in an audit firm. So I worked at an audit firm for 2 years.
You just look like a loose cannonball that nobody. First of all, you look like you can't be trusted, Sheila. Cause, and if somebody signed you up in their company, how sure are they that you're gonna be there after 2 years?
No, but you see, that's the thing. If you look at my CV, I'm very consistent that 2 years is my.
I bounce. After 2 years,
it's straight up. It's not a lie.
So after 2 years,
After 2 years, I get that itch because I learn. I'm there to learn also.
You learn.
I learn. So unless you're going to keep teaching me after 2 years.
If it's just the same thing over, and I also think for me that's why working independently gives me that chance of just experiencing something new every day. Even just for the podcast, inviting someone,
and
a new story every.
Face,
I was so fed up of sitting somewhere and then we're talking about the same thing.
About
a big ass, boobs, money, car. And I'm like, isn't there anything else that people can talk about? I'm like, I have to switch it up a bit. So these always interesting for me.
Awesome.
Yeah. So.
And then I had a short stint with Eat Out, which was amazing.
Yeah.
Which is I'm all about food.
Yeah.
But then at the end of the day, I realized I want to build my brand.
Your personal brand.
My personal brand.
Which is where every person is going right now.
And it's not an easy step to take. Do not be fooled. It's a hard journey.
Yeah.
And one thing that most people don't tell you is discipline. The level.
When I post my calendar, people are like, nah, you can't wait. Like, even if it's meeting you for lunch, trust me, if you don't pick it on that calendar, I'm not meeting you.
You have to
I don't
be
give
so
a rat's ass who you are. Yeah.
Even now, as
and your time.
I'm changing one of the rooms in my house because you have to have that office mentality, even if you're working. You
wake
have to have
up and
space.
do. Wake up and
because it's so easy to, and I speak from experience. It's so easy to wake up and then you're like, today I think I'll just answer a few emails. And then a few emails, and then you're like, hey, this season has started. And before, you know how Netflix one
Netflix is the worst. It's the worst. Especially if you get those shows that are 50 minutes long. Ooh,
and then, for me,
that's 4 seasons.
I sit there and then I'm like, I'm watching Chef's Table. Yeah, let me get some inspiration.
At least I'm learning something.
I'm learning. Before you know it, you're Scandal season 10.
Yeah, you'd rather watch those short YouTube ninis and keep it moving.
So if you are going to go on this journey of building your own brand and working for yourself, be true to yourself. The worst thing you can do is lie to yourself. You can lie to everyone else. These days you have Instagram, Facebook to lie to the world. You can go post whatever and show your world is okay. But if you're lying to yourself, then just, I don't know, don't do it. It's just discipline, and it's a lot of hard work. But I love it. I love every single minute of it.
It just gives you so much control of your destiny. That's what I was saying earlier before we started the podcast, that I didn't mind the 8 to 5 because the checks were secure.
Yeah, you know it's coming.
Yeah.
You know it's coming.
But once you get comfortable with just working independently, because, I can't fire myself. Like, I'm in control of everything. I can choose to work with this client.
Sometimes
this client shouts a lot, they scream a lot. I don't want to work with you.
Yeah.
I'll work with this person. I don't like how your legs look. I don't want to work with you. I'll work with this one. No, but the legs, of course, is a joke. But I'm just saying.
We hope.
I'm just saying.
Yeah.
You get to choose and grow differently.
Yes.
Because when I was starting off, it was, for me, I think it was just about money.
Me too.
But at the end, once you figure things out, it's not just about money. It's just structure, network, and growth.
Yeah.
Because if it's money, you can work from Monday, Friday, non-stop, every single day, You're making your money. But do you get time to spend time with, let's say, your daughter?
No, you don't.
Do you get time to just rest, let your body reboot and be ready for the next few days?
And if there's one rule I apply always to everything I do.
Yeah.
If I'm doing something and it makes me start hating something I love, I walk away from it.
Me too.
And if you focus on
and even
money,
people.
Yeah, and people. And if you focus on money, you'll start hating the thing you love.
Yes.
Because it'll turn into stress.
Yeah.
So I always thought, okay.
Do you ever turn down some jobs, even though the checks are good?
Oh, I have
listen
terminated.
To that,
Oh, I first go into names. I have terminated contracts.
Yeah.
Midway, because you're not meeting it, and the people like that sense of entitlement. They hold that check over your head. No, it's not about that.
I think that's even the problem with me. Like, you can write the zeros, but if I don't like it, I'm like, you know what? I can still get that money.
You can.
If I just keep chasing what I'm doing, I'll still make that money.
It's true, and you'll be very surprised how many clients can actually make you start questioning what you're doing.
And
once they start doing that, you'd rather walk away from such a client.
Yeah.
Because that creative, and especially for us creatives, that creative process, don't take it for granted. It doesn't come easy.
It's the mind.
It's your mind.
It's not like there's a calculator telling you like, okay, we need a summary of this year's
and then you just go
profits, losses, and
You have to protect your mind, and you have to protect your energy. Oh, I'm all about protecting my energy. 2019.
Because for me, I'm always thinking, okay, let's say for example, because I do my videos, right? There are some clients back then when I used to work with them. I could do this amazing video, and I know I do nice videos, right?
You do amazing videos.
Hey.
Every time you do a video of me, I send it to everyone by chance. I say, oops, did you see this?
Did you see this?
Oh, did you see this?
So, I used to have like these clients who, just because they've paid you, they'd want to make you redo and redo and redo. And then you actually, that thing that you said, you start questioning like, hey, is this what I'm actually good at? Should I keep pursuing this? Because I'm giving you this video. You're like, hey, you don't like it. but it's because they gave you this X amount of money.
And they feel
they want to, like, you can't just come here, spend 30 minutes and then say you're done.
Yeah.
Come back, we're doing this again. But now, I can just easily reject. Like, if I do 2 videos for you, and you like, let's say you don't like them, like even one, and we went through the brief with you and everything, and you say you don't like it, I completely understand. But you need to take a different direction. You don't need to use me.
Yeah.
Because we have so many other videographers, but you have a different vision, I have a different vision.
Now for us on food, it's the other way.
Yeah.
They want to give you a small budget, but they want a 5-star spread.
5-star spread.
Fountains.
Yeah.
Fireworks.
Yeah.
But they've given you a budget of buffet. So it's like, okay. And then I guess another term, and that's why I say you also have to learn the person who is approaching you for your skill. For me, the term I always hear, but it's just cooking.
If you tell me that by the
That's when you realize this client does not get what
you can never get along. You can never get along.
I do.
Because what are you telling me about what I do for a living?
It's just cooking. And that, when by the time someone drops that, it's just.
They don't respect your work. You think they don't even respect you, first of all.
It's just cooking.
Plus,
why am I paying you this much?
Plus, they're telling it to you on your face.
It's just like, that's why I say that in life, as you grow, even in career, and especially if you're going to build your own brand, learning to walk away.
You just walk away. You're just like, it's okay. Just cooking. Get somebody else to cook for you.
Those are the situations where chasing money can actually make you hate your craft. It's true that when you're starting out, and even I can say building my own brand.
All money is good money to a hustler. That's what they say.
Yeah. And you want to break even to certain points of to be able at least to pay your rent, to keep your power, your main amenities. Just make sure you can cover them.
Internet at least.
Internet. It's become like. So, but the thing is, your peace of mind. You have to draw a line. Obviously, it doesn't mean that every negative client you meet, you have to walk away. There'll always be that one headache somewhere. Yeah, I'm sure even you.
But just what makes sense to you?
Yeah, what makes sense.
Something starts being like
draining you. You're not sleeping. You're losing. You can't eat. Peace of mind first, because it's that same frame of mind that you're supposed to be healthy enough to get to the next job. So
as a creative, your mind is all you have.
It's
all you have.
I can't stress that enough. That's your treasure.
Like you're a bodybuilder or it's physical, manini, but when it's your mind, it just, you have to be at a very clear space.
Yeah.
So speaking of that, would you ever, is there a check that can ever make you go back to an 8 to 5?
A check that can make me go back to an 8 to 5? Yes.
So you'd still consider it?
But
or does the whole thing about being your own boss drive you to a point?
The thing is, I've reached the point where now I'm very open to negotiating the terms of my contract. I'm not just
maybe if I'm coming to an office, I'm working half day or something.
Yeah, that business of you've done what you're supposed to do for the day,
and then you're still chilling at the office.
They just want to see you seated.
It's nonsense.
It's
nonsense. Yeah.
They just want you to sit there and be seen.
Yeah.
But even if you go around asking for any other thing you can assist with, there's nothing. Literally, there's nothing for you to do.
There's nothing to do, but you can't leave.
That's why, for me, as someone who, then at least allow me to be able to use my laptop to do my own things here. If you need me for anything, I am physically here.
And that's the one thing you won't be allowed to do in the office.
Never allow you to do it.
Never.
In fact, one of the reasons I left one of my employments is the IT guy had been asked...
Which one? There are like 20 of them.
One of them. The IT guy had been asked to monitor my internet usage to see if I was going to my website.
To your website?
Yeah, because I realized I'm a blogger and I have a site.
You see, that's crazy because
micromanaging.
Somebody is sabotaging what you're actually doing on their side while you work for them and they have other things on the side and making money for them.
I'm always very clear when I join. This is what I do. This is who I am.
Yeah.
And so it's not like you're hiding it. It's not like you're watching porn in the office and you're like this. Not that I watch porn in the office. I'm just saying.
Okay.
I assume this is how someone would watch it.
You'd seem like a person who'd do it at home. So, of course, it can't be the office. The office would be just way out of...
my Uber over their backseat. But anyway, so I was very open
But
the thing you see, let me tell you something also I learned about when you open with an employer during the hiring process. They're very understanding.
Make your line like just. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it's
they always change though.
We will support you anywhere we can as long as you know you've done what you're supposed
Liars.
to do. Just they will reel you in with the best. And then the minute you're in, Sheila, we have noticed that you spend quite a lot of time on this website.
I've been fired because of Facebook like lots of times, but at least I know I was meant to do digital content. So I was doing my research. Because of YouTube and Facebook, I remember, and this is when like I've finished all my work. I have nothing to do. So I'm like, you're not supposed to go online. Plus, it's actually just school. I can't be in an office. I don't think I can be. Yeah. I'd go crazy right now.
But then again, that tells me something. It has framed my mind as I do hope to become a future employer.
It's mine.
Oh, yours looks nice.
Yeah, super healthy.
Super healthy.
Thank you.
And yeah, it has framed my mind in terms of how I would want to treat my staff in the future.
Yeah, if you get like...
Because if I get someone who is a creative, I would want to provide an environment where as much as they're working for me, they're growing, and if I can support them in the way I can support them.
Have you tried do you have an assistant? Have you tried working with assistants and such stuff?
Not yet.
Because I remember even in Mutua's podcast that I did with him, he was like, if you're coming in as an assistant, and that's what I've been trying to tell people online, you have to know what you want.
Yeah.
If you're coming to assist, to learn, or you're coming to work. If you're coming to me to get my network, to learn what I'm doing, no, I teach you what I'm doing. And even in the job, I stop what I'm doing to come and attend to you as well.
Yeah.
Don't expect payment for that.
Yeah.
And if you're just open-minded to... No, but if you're coming in and you possess these skills, you're coming in, if it's now, for my example, it would be like shooting. You can shoot, you can edit my stuff. I know we're splitting work and stuff. I can give you I can cut you off some certain percentage because you're actually working.
Yeah.
But if you're coming to learn, you should be able to differentiate between the two.
Yeah.
And then, apart from, so have you tried working with any interns?
Not yet.
Why?
The journey.
Because we're talking about mentoring people and stuff.
Yeah, but you see the
Plus
thing
you've been in all these different careers and stuff.
The journey.
You've never thought all these years.
I finish? You've just asked me a question.
Sorry.
The journey, my journey first is to know what my vision is.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Once I know what Rabala's Delight's voice is, especially when it comes to food, then I will know what I'm impacting to someone. I can't bring someone in when I still haven't.
No, but you seem like a very organized person, and I think even with me, what I realized is it's gotten to a place where I really need to structure and involve other people, whether I like it or not. And that's why offices will always beat us in other situations, especially if you're doing everything alone.
Yeah.
Because there's somebody who can offset this for you.
Yeah.
But if you're doing and trying to handle everything on your own, it might...
For now, it
might take you longer to get to where you are.
It's like 2019 for me, literally is laying a foundation. So far, I feel like in the past, I've been winging it and getting away with it.
Yeah.
And it's been working.
But you need now
now I want to lay a foundation where I can...
structure.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. How money is coming in, money is going out.
How it's going out. And with that...
How we're going on vacations and stuff.
Birthdays will be celebrated here.
Mm-hmm.
And so I want to lay that foundation and bring a team in with a way I can guide.
Exactly.
Then we can build together. But at least there has to be a foundation.
Yeah.
And that's what I'm working on right now. Very hard.
Okay. I respect that.
I
respect that. I respect that. So, for me, definitely it's been hard working with interns, but I'll figure that out.
Step by step.
Yeah, baby steps. And then when it comes to just the whole freelance thing, is there a time you've ever had to pick to work with a client? because they're promising. Because like even now, it's so ridiculous. Because even right now, when you think you established yourself, somebody would still approach you and tell you that, hey, we don't have a budget, Sheila, but see, she's already laughing. We don't have a budget, Sheila, but we promise you this platform will bring you growth, money, clients. Yeah.
That magic word, exposure.
Exposure. Have you ever been in a situation where you're like, of course we've all been exploited, right? But have you ever been in that situation where you said like, okay, this brand is worth me doing something with, even if it's for free?
Yeah.
And we're talking about like recently.
Yes. I think again, like I tell
you.
And
how do you choose? How do you choose? Like, okay, I can partner with these guys just because of this, and I'd rather.
My number one rule is if it's a legit non-profit and I can see the work they're doing.
Yeah.
Then those are the ones. Even I'll just go and see how I can play a part in their organization.
Yeah.
Those ones always get my attention first.
Yeah.
And especially if it's anything
because you're like, let me get in there and
especially
see.
if it's anything to do with children. Obviously, being a mom, they have my weak spot. So if they come to me that mom angle and I see what they're doing, then obviously those are the ones I can now.
So if you need free work and you have kids, just come to Sheila Rabala. She'll take care of you.
Listen to you. Generally, if I know you do have a budget, it's just that you don't want to spend the budget on me, then we're definitely not talking. Let's just save each other. Oh, that
looks good, eh?
Yep. Thank you so much. Like, let's save each other the energy, the time. Don't waste my time. Wasting your good time.
But how will you know? Because they've come to you telling you, Sheila, like, we don't have a budget. So how will you know?
We don't have a budget, but we really want you to push this product that's in all billboards across Nairobi.
And that we are selling it in all retail stores and everything. And it's making money.
And
we're
it's
making
on the
profit.
News, on the primetime news. Those ads right before the primetime news. But
and YouTube pop-ups.
Yeah. But we really don't have a budget.
Yeah.
There's a way you can gauge. And also, for example, when you've been in this industry long enough, if it's a new product that is really being pushed by a brand, there is a budget.
There's always a budget. Do you think it's...
The question becomes of how low are you willing to go at that point? How low can you go? How low can you go?
You know your budget is low if they don't want to pay you with... they don't ask for your KRA pin. Like somebody sending you M-Pesa, you're like, oh, shit.
But let me tell you, when we're starting off...
the books. But you need...
Hey, when we're starting off, those small M-Pesa ones...
They make... they're good, but...
They paid your
I think
internet.
But I think like for right now, the thing is... The people who inspire me and I look up to, a majority are guys I see like in the States because I pick their business structures and everything. And some of these people are young.
Very young.
Super, super young.
Very young.
2022, and they have their business on lock. Like they know about contracts, about this and that.
Yeah.
So, I mean, even for a lot of us who've already gone through all these exploitations and stuff, I think it's also for us to play a role just for the next generation. You're doing this for your daughter as well. Because she's already interested in YouTube and stuff, right?
Yeah, she's already asked me for a YouTube channel.
Yeah. So you wouldn't want her to go through
the same
what you went through.
No.
So I guess it's just like our responsibility to try and just put the knowledge out there. What you choose to do with the knowledge is up to you.
It's up to you.
But
and
at least we put it out there.
If you're going to be in this level of just working, you want to work with these big brands, please read, please study, please know the laws around such contracts.
Yeah. Don't just pick any that will, because it will make you look good on Instagram.
No.
I see a lot of people they have this show of they're with these people and you know they're not making anything.
Some of these
and that's
contracts,
why you see
the fine print is crazy.
It's crazy.
And you have to be smart about it. You have to understand when you need a lawyer.
Yeah.
You have to, oh my Lord, it's like even a saying, do you have a KRA pin?
Yeah.
It's those things. Have you registered yourself as a business?
Yeah.
Do you know what tax you can exempt yourself from, or what? It's a learning thing. So
Don't just
be ignorant.
Yeah, don't be ignorant. Because once you turn 18, you're not a kid anymore.
Yeah.
And I was talking about this with someone, I think, on 2 previous podcasts. Mm-hmm. And she explained to me something very interesting, because she said, or like, let's say in the UK or in the States, people do start working early. Mm-hmm. And that's why, like, by the time somebody gets to 20, 22, like, they know about contracts, they know about tax, they know about all these other things. Yeah. But like here, our like school system and everything, it makes you learn so much bullshit that you cannot apply in the actual life when you're independent. In an office environment, you have all these other departments that are taking care of you. You have the accounts department. It's taking care of your... Yeah, it's filing your
and
PIN.
It's true.
Yeah.
It's so...
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
It amazes me
yeah.
that someone can be 35 years old.
Yeah.
And you don't know how to file a tax return.
Yeah.
You don't even know what your PIN
does.
I was like...
PIN ya nini?
PIN ya nini?
What?
Hey,
yeah.
Like, okay.
But you have to understand, most probably... You went to school, you did this uni, you did attachments and stuff.
And then this office.
And then maybe, okay, the office nini starts, maybe you start off like at 26 or 27. That's when you're like now at understanding how society works. No, but that's too late. I think it's just our school system and everything. It takes a bit of evolving, but I think we have the internet now. You have to understand. That's why you see people in the States, in the UK. You start your own makeup line, you start this and that. Akina Kylie grossing up to close to 1B. Just like that.
So I still need to wrap my head around that.
Just like that.
Just like that.
Can you imagine? Like her and Jay-Z are in the same conversation.
And Diddy.
Diddy in the same...
From 1980.
You know how long Diddy has been dancing?
Dancing for us.
Ooh. Court cases and all these things.
I like that we've talked about work and this.
Yeah.
The fact that we brought up Diddy, there's something else we have to talk about.
What?
Mental health.
Yeah. Are you saying Diddy is crazy, or what are you saying?
No. If you had followed last year...
Because you just said that and then you said...
No, like last year.
Yeah.
He had a...
breakdown?
Yeah.
Oh, shit.
After he lost his
wife.
And remember, it's the same time Cassie had just come out.
Yeah.
It was literally the same week almost.
And I think that's taking a lot from you. Because, even at times, I know, like, maybe, I don't know about your situation, but I'm just saying, like, from, like, their pictures with the baby mama, like, when they were super, super young, you could see the love was so strong,
and it was still there.
It was. Even at times, maybe when you're not getting along and stuff, this is somebody you made a kid with and stuff. It's always going to be there.
Yeah.
Of course. And that sense of respect and everything. But once you're not expecting anything, or maybe you're even used to just fighting on the phone, these little fights that people normally have. Yeah. And then all of a sudden this person is taking away from you, like, they're not there anymore.
Why I brought up Diddy is because for me, he's one person as an entrepreneur I've always followed.
And marketing?
Yeah. So when he disappeared from social media, it was very evident. And I think I didn't notice about it until he came back on. And he had gone for a walk. Mm-hmm. And he lost his car.
His car? Which one? Yeah, I'm sure he has a lot. Yeah.
Whichever, he had lost it. And then he was filming himself. And then his battery was dying. And there happened to be some guy from TMZ driving past who gave him a lift.
What?
And then he took an Uber. It was funny, but then in retrospect, you remember this is Diddy.
This is Diddy.
Then you realized, hey. Then I started looking at other posts. Russell Simmons. They started telling him, dude, just calm down. Yeah. It will be okay.
Yeah.
So it's only about a week ago is when he came out.
Like a surefire, should have, but that means,
it's
even you wouldn't even know what he had, like.
He had gone through.
Yeah.
People think you're a billionaire, you can't have a breakdown, but he had a breakdown.
Yeah.
And then I started paying attention. My favorite cooking shows, my favorite chefs. I started noticing, how you're watching a competition and you're rooting for a certain individual.
Yeah.
I started noticing that some of my favorite chefs would drop out of the competition, and they'd all say, I'm not okay up here.
I'm going nuts.
I'm fighting my demons.
Yeah.
And everyone would say, fighting demons, fighting demons. And then I started looking at amongst ourselves. The other day, I saw some people bashing Anita Nderu. She came out with her post saying she had battled depression for a larger part of last year. Mm-hmm. It's like we don't talk about it.
And you see, that's why I'm telling people, like, for me, the podcast, it's so important because when you listen or watch to someone talking about something, like on TV, you know, when somebody's coming to TV, they have 15 minutes to do a promo, sell what you want. Is it an event? Is it name? But do you talk to them? Mm-hmm. Do you ask them? Because when somebody is actually saying, like, when Anita Nderu is saying, like, she was going through depression, of course, everybody would be like, what? What?
I
you have this job, you have this.
Exactly. I saw a comment. Someone actually told her, na hiyo pesa yote, we wacha zako. And you're just like, oh my God, if you could just explain.
Yeah.
During that period where I sold my car, I was literally thinking that I'm going insane.
Why?
Because you know what you're working towards.
Oh, yeah.
Here.
Yeah.
You're living in here.
Yeah.
You know what your worth is, you know what you can do, but situation around you is not aligning.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And that's the time if you
feel like just a big did it make you?
It made me question a lot of things, like, am I sure what I'm doing?
Oh yeah, because now you're like,
and if it's someone like me, I'm very independent and private.
Yeah,
so
you're very private.
It's now going to start pushing you to opening up to people, like, I may need assistance here.
Yeah.
And you might,
you can always call me. I'll take care of you.
For some people, it might come out easily.
No,
for
yeah,
some
true.
others, it's not.
No, it's hard. Like, even for me, I never ask for help.
You
would
hard.
meet me. Listen, you know, I've just remembered by the way, there's sometimes I've been in other situations and someone's like, oh my God, you're doing this and this and this. I'm like, bro, listen, it's not what you think. Plus, and even for me, I just try, like, even when I'm posting something on social media, I don't post anything that's too far-fetched from what I'm living.
Reality.
Yeah, because you can easily disconnect. You can start living a lie. Sometimes when I'm posting money, it's because I'm about to post the rate card. So that's always telling the clients, like, hey, listen, I just got paid this. Shots. Yeah. So it's not always to show off. But you'll notice after that, I normally post, like, the rate card. But it's just like I've been in advertising.
Yeah.
Plus I follow rappers. That's what they do. So even some, they're talking about how, like, they're told by their managers, just flash it around and everything. But it's just playing around. But you'd notice I'm not serious when I'm, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I'm not there to make somebody else feel bad. But I understand how it can be misconstrued and then also be very difficult for you as a person to now, if you're used to being independent,
to come out
and say, like, yo, I'm going through this shit.
But that's why I'm very open to the discussions about mental health now, physical mental health. Like, I realized you really do have to talk to somebody at some point and unleash that thing.
Yeah.
And also, just as we are doing what we're doing when we're pushing and striving for this, take care of your body.
Have a nice body. I'm not supposed to say that? I'm not supposed?
Thank you. But ideally...
I'm sorry, I'm playing.
Ideally, like, you'll notice...
Just getting you off.
That's what I'm saying, yeah? Like, ideally, you'll notice you get so focused, you don't eat. These things happen. Like, you
it's that whole balance we're talking about. You see that health,
so
wealth,
important.
love and happiness, it's so important. And even I'm always telling people, like, I don't like fighting or quarreling because I'm in a place where it can drive me crazy.
Yeah.
Because I'm going through my own two little things. So the moment somebody starts shouting, I'm like, listen, I cannot do this. And then you just walk away from that situation. Because, you know, a lot of people don't realize. Because when we were kids, imagine when you're slightly younger, when you see people on news like, this person has killed so-and-so, you're like, what? It took someone's life.
It's crazy.
This one just did this and this and this to this person, to the one person they loved. But when you grow up,
that's when
like, it's actually possible to kill someone.
Away from me,
it's actually possible. It is.
Walk away from me.
Because there's just that one thing that can come and, like, really make you and make you snap.
Yeah.
And then even when you're being asked, you'll be like, I don't know what happened.
Yeah.
Or you don't remember anything. So mental well-being, as you're talking about.
And especially, I always say for creatives,
your mind is so important.
It's constantly working. We're constantly, even when you're just chilling, you're still working.
You remember, like,
you're editing in your
you're
head.
always thinking.
You're creating and editing, and you're constantly doing it.
And I remember, like, you see, what was the funniest thing? Remember when Floyd was doing his last fight with
last one I watched was
the
McGregor.
English, McGregor.
Uh-huh.
You know, before he went for the fight, remember there's a place where they were showing his shots, and then he was sleeping like a baby, and then there was this person who just massaging his, cause there's no such important thing as just your sanity. Because you remember all these things that McGregor kept on saying on his face, touching his head and doing it. So you just have to.
Yeah.
And even like for him, he said like a special thing he's always maintained in boxing is like taking care of his just head.
Yeah.
And sanity. You won't see him talking crazy. You won't see him like letting you bash his head or anything, because it's so important.
It is.
That's why even a lot of boxers just go crazy, put in temper, physical strength, and all those things. And plus now there's social media. Everybody's just trying to compete and show off. Do you ever succumb to that pressure?
Of?
Social media. What's going on social media? Maybe your peers are doing more than...
Not really.
Mm-hmm.
I like celebrating.
Even at once, it's never crossed your mind like,
When I was younger.
Mm-hmm. When you were younger, there was no Instagram.
No, there was.
There was?
Remember, oh my Lord.
When you were on Homeboys?
When we were Homeboys, I still remember when we were all called into a meeting to be told about this thing called Twitter. And everyone go and open a Twitter account. And I was sitting there. 45. What am I going to write? And when they're like, I think I should go back to my initial tweets. We all had to do it. Mm-hmm. We all had to be on Facebook, Twitter. I remember at that time, Instagram was only for iOS. And I had an iPod. And so I could only use it where there was Wi-Fi. And I think I used to get like one like, because there was only another person.
Plus, there was no pressure then. There was no pressure. Even if you're getting 2 likes, you're good.
So I have had situations where I felt like I'm not doing enough.
Because I've always had it, but I had to learn to differentiate, to appreciate, and also understand that I can achieve this and get inspired. Yeah, appreciate and get inspired. Because you can look at a picture. And I think for most people who get stressed and, just go through all these breakdowns and stuff, is when they see somebody achieving A, B, C, and D, and then they're like, oh no, I wish I had that. But you forget that your journey is supposed to be different. Yeah. And that's why, like, even for me, I think even for the podcast, like, just the DMs I've just started getting, like, so many people are, like, connecting to so many different things. Like, when I posted something to do with the... like law students. Mm-hmm. I don't know whether... Did you see that post?
Not yet.
It was about how KSL is like failing students intentionally.
I saw it. Mm-hmm.
So I didn't expect it to have like a big reaction because I shot it like a month ago. Mm-hmm. So I was just chilling on it. Mm-hmm. So I see NTV has done this story. I was like, this is a good time to post. So I post it. And you just see all these people who are really... stressed out. They've done this thing for more than 7 years trying to achieve that. And then there's a guy who sent me a message. It's like his friend tried to commit suicide because he had been failed so many times and he just didn't know what else he's supposed to do.
So
he was like okay, by day, because what else am I supposed to do? This is the thing that I've invested so much time in my life and I thought I was actually good at it, and what you guys are telling me is that this is not for you. After 7 years, where are they supposed to start off again?
And that's the thing.
And maybe on social media, you go on the flip side, maybe somebody who had some tunes, you see them in the graduation, they've just graduated, they are being bought for a car, like, yo, he passed, we're celebrating, we're going to the Bahamas, we're going to Nini. Yes, some people go all out, and then you're like, wow, Like even just the papers, I can't get it. Even just the papers, and then I go figure this out.
One thing for me is my thing when it comes to social media, the way I portray what is happening with me. Like I just did my first like IGTV introduction.
You did?
Yeah.
When?
I just posted it yesterday. I will share it with you.
Yeah.
And then you'll notice I'm in like a t-shirt. I'm just like
just t-shirts alone?
Cannot help you.
Sorry.
Have pants.
My apologies.
But the idea is, you know how initially when I was thinking about how I want to start my YouTube channel and I want to cook, and because of the other people I love from South Africa and from here and everywhere I look at, even abroad, it's such a production, and I'm like, oh, I have to reach out to a makeup artist. And I remember
I talked to you about, we had this conversation a long time ago. And I was like, just shoot, you'll figure it out.
Yeah, and then I realized, Sheila, when you're in the kitchen, I can tell you honestly, there are constants when I'm in the kitchen.
Yeah.
One thing is a TV or the laptop is on.
Always.
Always. There's a show.
So you watch and many at the same time?
It's either a cooking show or I'm catching up on a murder mystery, but there's always something, playing, if not
so
music.
that you can just...
Yeah, I'm still... You know, there's times when something has to simmer for 5 minutes. I'm not just there staring at the wall. I'll be there like, following the movie, and then I continue. So one thing is that. And the other thing is sometimes there's like a glass of something, depending what time it is.
I see that as well.
So now... But I won't have done my makeup and
you're
so
just
I
chill.
Still want to
but you know that's what people connect to. I think a lot of people miss that point. And even like for most there's some YouTubers, by the way, if you watch their videos you're like, the lighting first of all.
That's where I'm telling you exactly what you're saying. And that's one of the reasons it was taking me so long to start. I had I used to watch them and I'm like, oh my Lord, I still haven't, I don't have that makeup. Oh my Lord, I don't have that background.
And that's why even like when you said you wanted to dispose the G7X, I was like, I don't know how I'm supposed to tell you. It's not a good idea, but
yeah,
I was those ones of like,
to get it
I was those ones of like, you even saw like I didn't even.
There you
I wasn't like.
Yeah, you put it as a by the way.
Yeah.
You didn't say it directly.
Plus, because like I sell camera stuff and
you're the one who advised me to go get it.
So if I wanted to sell it, like I'd have like already sent a rider there and then. And I was like, I just hope she doesn't find a buyer and then even there's a friend of mine, I sold him like a G7X. He sent me a screenshot of your thingy. And then he's like, hey, you gave me a good deal. I was like... And then at that time, I'm like, Sheila, don't do it.
Kept it.
It's really small, but trust me, it's just one of those things that you'll come and appreciate. Like
even that first video, I love it. And I'm going to keep at it. The thing is, I have fallen for that, where I'm looking at other channels and I'm thinking, Jafika, oh my Lord, what am I going to do? And then I started stressing myself. Yeah. And so I'm not creating the content yet. I have everything that I need here,
and you're still coming up with other excuses.
But the excuses are still coming, and they were coming with every other video I watched.
And you see, like even for me, what I normally tell people is like, I'm always telling my friends that any person I see, they have a passion for this and that. They're like, hey, can you assist me with this? I'm like, yeah, I can. And I'll come do even a video for you for free. But you know what you have to do? Do your first 4 videos, and then on the 5th one I'll come shoot for you. Because then you've committed. Because if I come and do it for you, and then you see how I'm shooting, setting up rigs, doing all these things, you think, the hell, do you think you'll even be encouraged at all to even do anything for yourself? Be like, all these other things, where do I get them? And even if you get them, you need to take time to study and understand how to use them.
Oh my God, keep learning, keep studying.
So, it's tricky.
It's funny you should say that. One of the quotes I saw, Juicy, and I loved it. Okay, it was on Chef's Table, and any creative in the food industry or just any creative, you need to watch Chef's Table on Netflix. It's amazing. And this chef said, if you're an intern and you come to me and you give me 95%, I might give you something, I might not. As a chef.
You see
but
what...
if you come with 100%, I'm giving you 150.
But that's true. Even the way you're saying it, that's why I'm saying, like, even for interns, it's tricky. It's very tricky. Because can you understand when you're doing like your job and then someone is next to you and you're also doing their job? And we've just talked about mental well-being right now. You see? And when I was a kid, I could see adults doing this, like... I didn't know what that was. I was like, this guy by the way.
But then again, something interesting.
People driving you nuts.
But something interesting that I also saw.
Yeah.
This applies in a professional kitchen.
Yeah.
If an intern comes in.
Yeah.
And in that setting, you've been nurtured. You come up with an idea of a meal. Yeah. It belongs to the chef.
Oh.
And they tell you straight up.
That's.
If I take this and I put it on my platform, it belongs to me.
So what do you get in return?
Nothing. You're an intern.
You hear that, interns? You hear that, interns? There are people who are cruel out here. There are people who are cruel out here. But it gives you the discipline. You also start understanding and taking things seriously. Now you start understanding. Now you start doing research on ownerships.
Yeah.
Those contracts you've talked about.
Yeah.
Fine prints and everything. You start understanding all these different situations that you're getting yourself into.
Because it made me take a step back and think about menus.
Oh,
so when you see a menu,
if you're coming up with...
So you see, we always think that it's the executive chef who comes up with everything. No, sometimes a very delicious something, it was some intern somewhere. But because they're being trained under this person's leadership, it is now...
Oh my.
Tell you.
Okay, when it comes to...
That's why I'm like, there's so much to learn.
Because like even... And you see, all different fields have so much. And that's why when you said, I don't know if we're talking about this off camera, when you said you have a meeting with a client and everything, you talk about stuff and then they're like, hey, sinikupika tu. So it's just cooking.
It's just cooking.
This is how much you want us to include in your budget for a campaign. So you see, it's...
But with clients, in those situations, you have to be able to recognize double speak. Hi, Sheila. You know what? We've seen your work. We love your work. We feel like it will align well with our brand.
Yeah.
You're exactly the kind of person we're looking for. And then, we feel that you're the right fit. Definitely. Okay, so here's my rate card. Sinikupika tu. I'm sorry. What was that 10-minute speech about aligning with your brand? Being the right fit. It's like, it's so hilarious. And you learn.
Yeah.
Because also, if you look at it sometimes, not for all of the clients.
Yeah.
But if you look at it, sometimes this person wants to please their own bosses by showing, I saved this amount of money from the budget. Yeah. And one of the first people they think they can cut off are creatives.
Listen, I hope you saw like Mutua's snippet. He was like, this I'm addressing to the clients. And then it was just like on pointers.
I saw that.
Like 1, 2, 3, 4. It was like, second, you're lying.
They're lying to your face.
Then you give me your salary. Like he just hit the pointers where they are. And like so many creatives were like, yo, when is the episode coming out? When is it coming out?
It's so true.
But I understood, like even for him, he explained and how he's structured and balancing family and everything. It was like, if I have 2 kids, bro.
Yeah.
And you're coming and you're approaching to me as a grown-up.
To Lilia for me.
No, to tell me that you don't have a budget. And the one job that you've been hired for with that company is budget.
Yeah.
You can't be trusted with anything. How is the company even having you represent them in that position? Because you don't know what you're doing.
I've reached that point where I learned, let's not waste time back and forth.
Yeah, there's no need for that.
Let's just say, this is my rate card. Instead of you complaining it's too high or too whatever, just respond with what figure you want to give me.
Let's talk numbers though.
Numbers.
Because I understand, you see, when somebody's coming off like college and everything, you can have that conversation with them. It makes sense. You see, they're staying maybe at their mom's house. All they need is like just lose money for the weekend and everything. But if I have bills to pay, because for me, I'm always thinking like, hey, Connie, what do you think of me? That's always the first question, because I'm like, no, like, what do you seriously think of me? Because I remember there's another client I had to explain to them, because like there's this time I was watching these sneaker documentaries in Brooklyn, New York and stuff. So it really I really get engrossed in documentaries and stuff. So I started spending money on sneakers and shoes, unboxing and stuff.
There was a time you became...
I still haven't finished unboxing them. I so many shoes, so many bad decisions by then. But no regrets anyway.
Ka-ching, ka-ching.
I remember I explained to this client, they had this certain budget, and I had to sit them down and explain to them, imagine this is how much I've spent on these shoes, and you want to give me this much. I'm not showing off or anything, but I'm just trying to explain to you. Yeah. I even opened the link on the website. I'm like, I know and I understand what you're talking about, but just let me go and work with somebody else, because you don't even understand the value of what I'm needing. Yeah. Not that I was just being, showing off with my stupid decisions and stuff, but I tried to break it down to them. Because like, at least I know there's somebody else who can come in. And I did get other clients who like understand, appreciate you in a very different way. Yeah. And you can even always get like a big check, and you'd be okay. Yeah. But of course, like we said, we all need to figure out structures by the way. We need to figure out structures. So that we just know like the cash is coming in constantly. If you don't wake up, you can still, the cash is still coming in. I know. So I know what you're talking about when it comes to that. So with that being said, and on to our next segment, which is all about...
On to the next one.
You know what it's all about, Sheila?
What is it about?
Love. Ooh. Relationships.
LOVE.
Yeah.
Yes.
I mean...
Love is a beautiful thing.
It is?
It is.
What's your situation?
My situation with love?
Yeah.
I love love. Love loves me.
Come on. Stop playing. I mean, are you involved in something right now, or you wouldn't want to talk about it?
We can talk about it.
Yeah.
Ain't no shame in my game or lack of game right now.
You're not involved in anything?
No.
Is it hard to like date, especially
in Nairobi?
when you're trying to like now focus on building your brand?
It is. It's very hard.
And like so much attention has to go to your brand.
It's not only that. It's I'll give my situation. I do have an 8-year-old daughter.
Yeah.
Who I was in a very long relationship with a really nice guy. But my lesson is, I believe before looking back, I do believe, or I wish that I had given myself time from campus to get into the workforce, to kind of know and grow in myself before committing. Yeah. But I can't take it back because I have a beautiful daughter from it. Yeah. And we do remain friends. But once we were adults and in this outside world, we realized
things are we're just meant to be in different...
Yeah, so it happens that way. Mm-hmm. And for me right now, I'm too focused on building my brand.
But don't you still need like that? Love and affection, companionship.
Let me tell you, if I start telling you my Tinder dramas...
You've tried? It's just Tinder. Not working out?
Yo, if you see, ever swipe left.
By the way, Tinder has never worked out for me, like, ever.
I met one really nice guy and we're still friends from
like
Tinder.
People do actually meet people from Tinder?
Yeah.
And proper people, like not sketchy. You have a conversation and nini.
Okay, I went... Again, when I entered Tinder, I can't believe we're talking about Tinder. When I entered Tinder, it was literally like you're saying, companionship. Yeah. I'm not looking for a relationship. Yeah. So it was, someone who I can actually just go have a drink with, hang out, maybe go dancing. So that's what I thought Tinder was about. Oh, really? Also, you didn't know like what it was actually meant for? So, my first ever Tinder hookup meetup. Yeah. And I remember this day very clearly. I was very bored at home.
You must have been very bored.
It was Sunday.
On a Sunday?
On a Sunday. And I didn't feel... So I was like, let me just check what's happening on Tinder.
Yeah.
And you know how they're like, oh, you have a match.
Yeah.
And I check out the match, and he doesn't look so bad.
I'm like, okay, not
so
bad.
So you know how send a message, hi.
Yeah.
Responded immediately, hi. And I'm like, okay, cool. Are you new to Nairobi? He's like, yeah, I just landed last night. Bas. I was like, let's do a tour of Nairobi. It was fun. I had a good time.
It was good?
It was a really good time. We're still friends. In fact, just from visiting Nairobi, Juicy, again.
Wow. Because, I mean...
There have been others on Tinder that I have blocked.
No, but I'm just talking about... That just means... like just cutting off, like going from social places and going in the direction of an app Does that work more for you, or being in a
Yes,
social
because
scenario where you... Because like, in an app, you can just look at someone. First of all, on Tinder, you're just looking at their face.
And then you start conversation. You've already decided.
First of all, yeah. Now that I think about it, it's purely physical.
It's purely physical.
First of all,
yeah.
And then after that, you're just winging it, whether this person...
But it depends. Like, if you don't have a description, it gives you the option of giving a description.
Yeah.
And then there are those witty descriptions,
Like how? What?
Like someone will be like, I love dogs. I'm not a dog. I have a wife. Or maybe I had a wife. Like... Oh, yeah,
those funny Ninis.
I love
like,
those.
yo, yeah.
Like, you read the whole thing and you still know nothing about this person.
Yeah.
I like those.
You like those?
Yeah.
And those like the weirdos?
I like the witty ones. The ones who tell you God-fearing.
Those ones are bad.
Those are the shaitanese, I tell you.
I've never, ever been successful using a dating app. I just like it doing... I think I'm just like... I appreciate that I actually can do this shit like old school. Like, you can just throw me in a social setting, I'm good.
No, but
I look around, talk,
I
take a conversation.
Social setting is that there's a rush.
There's no rush. What do you mean?
With the guys
more rush than Tinder?
that's
Are you free? Sawa, yeah. I just landed. We meet up. Sheila?
No.
There's a rush. You think?
But you see, that's the thing. With the Tinder one, landed... and it ended up being...
Yeah.
Let me show you around Nairobi. It's your first time in Nairobi. Nothing was... see, it was a very... like, touristy... Nairobi.
Okay.
Someone would want, like, literally...
Let's go with that story, huh? Okay. Here's the plot twist. When you're going to Tinder, what were you looking for?
Companionship.
Really?
Yeah, and
there's Christian Mingle and OkCupid and all these other ninis. That's where, like, Tinder is basically for just banging. You know that, right?
Later is
like, you didn't know, like, even your friends didn't tell you about how Tinder works.
I didn't ask my friends before I joined Tinder.
Because I've never been successful at that. Maybe people just see, like,
I
this
didn't
one is
know
just...
that. I didn't know. Like, seriously, I thought it was like dating app. So it's a companionship, if something comes about it.
Yeah.
So even my friend, now that we're friends, he's like, you joined Tinder looking for someone to go and drink coffee with. I was like,
yeah, because I'm thinking, like, you just sound like that naive schoolgirl, like, yeah, you find yourself in a situation and then you're like, no, I thought we were just coming to chill. So that's like, what do you mean?
I had to, the guy had to block because, like, he was hi. And immediately he was like, so when do I meet you and kiss you? I was like, Jesus.
That's what it's about, though.
I realized that I'm about to deactivate my account after this deactivated account.
Oh, that's okay. But do you think just like the conventional way of people reaching out and dating, like even like you are, how you're surrounded with job, work, and everything?
Yeah.
Where's the difficulty in like just meeting like someone that you can actually click with?
And that's the thing.
Because first of all, you beautiful, amazing personality. You have a really nice personality as well, Sheila. Like, but I'm just saying, so.
But the thing is, I find it very hard. Extremely hard. It's
What's been the hardest, like, maybe situation or scenario you think you can say, like, okay, maybe this, I've just tried this so many times.
I enjoy conversation.
Oh, you talk too much and then not want to go to... After 90 days, you're still talking.
I'm still talking.
After the 90-day rule, you're still talking. Like, oh my God, you've talked about everything.
Everything.
I'm like, what else do you want me to do?
So, like, if we should be able to...
But you have, like, meaningful conversations and everything. We can do that. Like, we can pillow talk about that. But, I mean... After 90 days, I mean, Sheila, if we're still doing that...
can still be... Like, I want someone who...
Or is intimacy to you, like, something that you just don't... there are people, like, it doesn't really mean something to them.
No, we can paint walls red.
Oh, wow.
But that means also, when I sit down with you, please have something between your ears.
Oh, like be a good listener or just have
not
a conversation.
Listener, like, if you decide today we're going to talk about what's happening in the world in terms of
we
politics.
have to decide what we're talking about.
No, as in...
Or you pick.
Because
if you pick the subjects,
down, right? And then I say to you something or you say to me, hey, did you see what happened, Jana, with this situation with this lady who was killed? I tell you, I don't know.
The one she was banged with a sufuria or something.
Yeah, you see, like...
like you're in tune, maybe you can have the small things to talk about.
Yeah, so
that you're like,
if I don't know, you can be able to tell me about it.
Yeah.
So if I go to another forum, I'll be like, oh yeah.
Like I'm always bringing like a different conversation.
Imagine like a podcast conversation every week with your partner. You understand?
Yeah.
So if I can't have that chill...
Like, even there are some people you can't talk to them like this long.
Yeah.
Like after 10 minutes, you're like...
And
start looking at your phone and then you're like...
That's the worst.
Trying to find an excuse.
If in the initial stages.
Yeah.
And that's why I try and shy away from always meeting in a club where the music is loud and you don't always have conversation.
Yeah.
So I like having a situation where we actually have to talk, and if you can talk for an hour or more, and not feel like we're straining.
And I keep telling people like for me, I just discovered like my lane. It's like I don't really like clubs at all. Mm-hmm. I've always liked like the outdoor events. You remember like from when mingle, blankets and wine, and all these things, because there's social interaction, and like that's just had been like a very big contrast every time you go to the club. Like you're like, wow. How do you even talk to someone, first of all? This one, you just say hi to them, they're like, buy me a drink. So, and then I can't even talk to you. So even, I'm just trying to paint like even a scenario. How do I get to go home with you if I'm supposed to? If it's not a situation where I'm saying like, okay, how much? How much? Yeah, of course. There's no way you can have a conversation. You can't.
For me, I have like...
Do you club a lot or...
I do, but then again...
Or when you go there, it's like just a girls' night out. You don't go there for...
I think I'm an old soul. So the clubs that I go to are very hidden to the point of...
That's where all the prostitutes hang around. What do you mean?
No, as in...
No, for real though. You understand what I'm talking about?
No, those clubs, I mean, they don't have... Literally, I could be the only person in the club. As in
come on.
Yeah, literally.
Or like, okay, so it's not like all this...
It won't be the one where everyone...
I thought when you're saying like the hidden ones where like people go and do Tuninese.
It has history, so it has survived many years.
Because I hear there are places you can go and pick up guys nowadays.
This is Nairobi.
Yeah, there's everything.
There's
for
everything
everyone.
in Nairobi for everyone.
Yeah.
So I tend to go to this club to the point where the management, the waitresses, they know me.
But you have a good time there?
Yes, I have a fantastic time.
Alone?
Because the DJ knows my playlist.
Come on. Which clubs are these that don't have that need marketing? That need marketing. They can call me.
And that's the thing. I always tend to go to places, I think, more mature crowd. And also that's why even in dating, I tend to... It's like, again, I dated someone who was about my age, only to realize later that I do better with someone a bit more older. No,
it has to be because that, like, there was this podcast I had, and like, there's this lady who really explained it to me very, very well. Mm-hmm. Like, even for right now, like a girl in campus, it's almost impossible for them to date someone their age.
Yeah.
Because just think of how campus boys act and how like campus girls act. Campus girls are out there like hustlers. Yeah. They'll do sales job here. They're looking for a job here. And then you ask someone, how old are you? They're like 19, I'm turning 20.
Yeah.
I'm like, what? You're working so hard. You're chasing so many. But guys, they're smoking some weed. They're getting high.
Waiting for high. Yeah.
They're fighting. They're doing all these things. But now she explained a scenario like overseas, how like they start working early enough and all these things. So even like, let's say next week, I want to treat my girlfriend. I'm like, I made some loose cash at McDonald's. I can actually take you on a date. And for the girl also, she's doing her own thing, waitressing or doing these little small jobs. She has an online platform, selling merch or whatever. Yeah. She can decide, after 2 months, why don't we go on vacation? And they're paying for their vacation themselves. Yeah. So you see, they're almost the same age. But by the time they get like to 22, they're saving up for like a car.
Yeah.
Like after a breakup, they're practically in court fighting for car, and they're like at 23 before they even get to 24.
Yeah.
But now, like in Kenya, the whole education system, first of all, and everything. I'm just trying to think by the what can a campus guy like offer, like a campus like age mate who's like a girl they're trying to date. How can they take them out? Like in this era where everyone is taking pictures in like all these nice fancy restaurants. Food is like 3 Gs for 2 people.
Yeah, it's a bit hard. But again,
the
thing is, it's the same thing I used to do during the breaks. I don't know if it still happens that way because they used to have long ass breaks, the semester breaks.
They're still there.
Then
that's when most of them get pregnant.
It just now you can get work.
Is that when?
No.
Oh,
okay. No.
But I've been like, these jokes are just going way too far.
Oh, mine was
inappropriate.
Mine was when I was at Homeboys. In fact, guys didn't understand. Beanie Man was performing, and then I couldn't attend because I knew I hadn't told them. I was waiting for the 3 months.
So
I went to Coastal to hide, so that I couldn't have to explain to people why I'm not drinking vodka at the Beanie Man concert.
Oh, because everyone is drinking, and they know that, and they know like you're a turn-up person.
So
you have to go to a different province to actually say that people. You can just come up with something. You're like on medication or something.
No way, people knew me.
And then they slapped at those friends of peer pressure. Drink, just take one shot.
So I went, and then I came back now and told my boss, and then I told everyone. And they're like, no wonder you started drinking funny colored drinks over here.
Oh, okay. So what were we saying before?
So in terms of love, we're talking about love. And
you say it works for you when you're dating someone who's slightly older, because they can teach you. There's some sort of wisdom in even what they.
And the challenging that they give you.
The
amount of challenge that
because even for me, I definitely understand. Like maybe if but for me, I can just deal with like, even if you're older than me, I can maneuver. I know how to maneuver around. But I understand what you're talking about, because even when I'm dating someone who's younger, like I always have so much more to offer. Even when it comes to conversation, I'm like, yo, this is what you're doing. You have potential in this, and this. And you can see like how it brightens their eyes, because there's so much that they're seeing. Even before I start doing something for them, like they can like almost see all these things that you're speaking of, and they're like, yo, by the way, this person can actually be of actual use or just good company around me. But like a campus guy who's just like offering you like, let's smoke some weed, let's do this and this.
But we're allowed.
That's my friend. So as much as they're trying, I mean, it's real, because like right now, it's crazy. I don't even understand how. At least for us, I think we're just in a nice era where even if you don't have anything, you can still like go out and do like crazy stupid. Actually, we had a good run.
We had good campus life. But I still
because now do you think they do?
They still can. It's just that pressure.
If you don't have money,
that's the pressure we're putting. You see, it's that pressure.
As we could have fun, and I'm just trying to picture like it was like dating like back in college. Okay, maybe even now. But back in college, I could still like wing like and date like really pretty girls with having nothing.
Oh yeah, no, now you have something.
Nothing. I'm just saying, like, I can even remember there's a friend of me and my friend, we were like trying to catch like someone's attention, and then like my friend had a car, and that's a funny thing, like I'm just so confident in how I do my thing. Like my friend actually had a Benz, and we were both like fighting for the same chick. And then you know what I told this chick? I was like, listen, this guy, imagine he's hired this guy. It's supposed to go back in the next like 2 hours. And the chick actually believed me. So I ended up going home with. But my friend was like the one who was like buying drinks and everything. But I'm just saying, like, somebody then could still like you for just your personality and everything. Whereas now...
We were watching series on laptops.
Yeah. I mean, for now, I think there's just too much pressure on, like, my boyfriend is driving this, my boyfriend owns this, my boyfriend is... So, if you don't have anything that you're bringing to this girl's table, like, you're doomed.
I think
you're just chilling a squad of niggas, you're not getting any.
You can make it work. You can make it work. But
really,
please
explain to campus guys how they can make it work with a pretty girl they've seen out there on Instagram who has at least more than 10,000 followers.
You see, you're the one putting the social media pressure on them.
Because it's there. It already
there.
exists. I'm not the one. It's already there. So I'm just saying something that's already in existence.
Yo, slide into that DM.
And you expect...
Just, the worst thing is you slide, and that's why I always answer. If you slide into my DM, I will answer you. Trust. I always answer.
Hey, guys. Yeah? Is that
and it will be just not interested, but thanks. Yeah.
You'd say not interested.
I have so many times.
Eh.
The thing is, you never know if you...
Okay. No, but
unless
it's true.
you swing your shot.
Yeah.
And take that mentality everywhere you go.
So you think it's possible?
Always.
Okay, you're lying. Don't be lied to.
Let me tell
you.
You
don't
first.
Yeah.
Who was it? There's a couple. They're married now.
Please, show me. From this new era?
Slid into a DM, yeah.
Right now, from this era?
Yeah.
Who?
I can't wait.
If that situation is so unique and beautiful, it should be memorable because they don't exist.
No, it does.
They don't exist.
It does.
Listen, because I was having this conversation with another friend of mine. I was like, even think about like just courtship, marriage.
Priyanka. Is that Priyanka?
Who's that?
This Indian lady who got married to one of the Jonas brothers. That huge wedding.
Come on, that's...
no,
listen,
it doesn't
Sheila,
matter.
It does. It does matter, but let me tell you.
No.
Let me explain to you.
She's hot.
So, no.
Above his league.
No.
She has over 10,000 followers.
She was just like, Woishe, like, okay, Sarah, just
no, but this
Woishe
time,
Nini.
we put too much on experience. If you want to date, you don't have to...
have money?
No. At least not for me.
Sheila, you're lying.
True. Like
you would date a broke person?
Yeah. I'm not going to marry you.
Fair enough.
You need to use your toss yourself.
Fair enough. Okay, so that makes sense. That makes sense.
The thing is,
that makes sense.
You are allowed to date. Don't overthink dating. And that's what
I'm just saying, like, there is so much pressure right now, and just think about it. Look around you. Even when you're walking somewhere, Hurlingham, in town, Langata, everywhere, you'd see more groups of like just guys, a squad, like 8, 9. But when you see like maybe girls, just maybe 2, and maybe just with a couple, or one like on the next to the what seat? What is it called? The co-passenger seat somewhere. Somebody just look at cars when they're moving in the morning, like because here's the thing. At times I think when we're caught up with life so much, we might not pay attention to our surrounding, but just wake up in the morning, like when you're just looking around, you'd always see, like even when girls are taking pictures on Instagram, it's always like car seat, nini. That's like a small like show off and stuff. And I was just in a podcast as well with like these South African girls, and we were talking about like, because I was telling them like, like when I got to SA, like all the Ubers were Benzes and stuff, right? So I'm seeing Audis and stuff. And then it just hit my head. I'm like, wow, the Nairobi girls would go mad if this were the Ubers. Wow. And you can even choose a range and they can take pictures in them.
It'll never be an Uber. It'll be like,
quick
run.
Yeah, quick run with boyfriend. I was like, they would go. Because they were like, that actually excites them. I was like, yeah, but that's a thing. And I'm just saying, like, now you'd see more squads of boys, like just boys hanging around because they can't like even just...
Yeah.
I don't see like guys in the hood, like somebody walking, just holding like a pretty, like a pretty girl. No, I don't see it anymore. As we used to do it, Pandisha, patana with the chick, panda jab, we're walking, extremely. But now it's very rare to see like even those scenarios. And think about this as well. Who are some of the couples that people look up to right now?
I don't know. Do we have couples to look up to right now?
My point exactly.
But you see now people don't want to be seen outside. You don't know how many people there are.
What? What do you mean? Like, Community husbands. Oh.
You get it? Like, guys don't want to be...
yeah, I'm just saying, like, because I think even just the whole relationship, the culture's slightly changed.
It has changed.
People those power couples that they look up to, especially like in Kenya. We have Akina Jay-Z, Beyonce, all these people that you're mentioning. But like in Kenya, name me a couple, apart from Wahoo and Nameless.
Okay.
They've been like,
together for the longest.
Consistent and just the same love. You still see the same vibe they have. They still have that. But who else do we have?
I don't know. That's a really tough question, actually.
There isn't at all. You just see cheating husband, cheating wives, people killing each other. Like, we have no people to look up to and just say, because it's now like, oh, I want a sponsor. Oh, I want this. It's all happening. Yes, it's all fun and games right now, but isn't it like the situation going to trickle down to our kids?
But even when we look at, like you've mentioned, Wahoo and Nameless, there's a level of, the level of sharing is limited. It's a controlled sharing.
Yeah,
and
true.
Like you see...
But I'm just saying, like, even for me, how I've seen, like, because I've seen how couples even act around each other and everything. I've been in scenarios where like, they're like just even doing like shoots and stuff. You can see there's some things you can't lie about.
Yeah.
And of course, even how I did like a trisex of my podcast with her, like just last year before I did like my whole setup and everything. And we talked about this. I asked her about like, how do you know like this is the person? And then she was saying like she had to like all those things like about money and stuff, they did not exist then. And how she just committed and it actually just worked.
Yeah.
But the person loved them for. Because now it's just like Instagram, like we've said, Tinder, you're just seeing a picture.
Yeah.
So if you have like big boobs, and it's a portrait like picture, of course I'm asking you because I've just seen tits and I'm expecting maybe the ass to be
equally.
But I'm just like approaching like the wrong.
It's true, we're very visual. We're very visual now. Mm-hmm. But in terms of, I don't know, it's a tricky situation these days, dating. That's why I'm saying even for me, it's a very conscious decision that I'm not dating right now. It's
for your own sanity?
For my own sanity.
You're like,
For my own sanity. And it's not that, the way we are as a society, if you want someone today, you will get someone today. There's someone
right
for
now?
everyone. Yeah.
Right now?
You go stand there. You'll find 5, 6, 7, 10 people, right? But dating, don't go into it. I mean, you can go.
I wasn't actually saying them all.
No,
I was saying like right now. I was saying right now.
No. So the thing is, dating, like, enjoy it while you're young, yeah?
While you're young. Because I think as you go older, it's just...
It's way harder. You're picky. You know what you want.
Yeah. Because somebody can be very good looking.
Kabisa, they could be driving a Range.
Everything.
Your heart just is
everything. Because I remember I also had this argument with one of my friends. And then, because now I can even backstep on a few statements that I had said. She was like, I just need a guy who has money. And then now it came to my mind. I'm like, no, it actually isn't. Because I know some of my friends who have the most money.
Very unhappy.
No, not even unhappy. They can't get anyone. Because they're also like attracting all the wrong people who are coming after the wrong things. Yeah. So it's even hard. It's just crazy.
It's tricky.
Maybe just bang one out and just focus on work until you figure things out. That's what I'm just.
But you cannot underestimate the power of having a friend or someone who you're going to build with. It can work. It's just, it doesn't have to be a focus. Right now, my love of my life is my daughter. I love her.
Yeah.
And that's enough love for me for now.
At least. It brings that balance because that's the balance, companion now.
If you need some shindig, there's some gadgets these days on sale. I can refer somebody.
Those things have ruined us. Let's just say that.
What, do you remember Samantha?
Who's Samantha?
Do you remember last year, but when the craze, Samantha the doll?
I've seen those dolls. It's just crazy. But it's still not the same. Okay,
let's not turn this into a sex podcast.
Yeah, let's not switch it to that. So anyway, we've just talked about way too much. We've talked about a lot, and I can always invite you to come and do like another podcast session. So, but at least I try and bring that balance.
Okay.
And even how I split like the clips, it'll be like a snippet of love, and anybody wants to go to work, they can pick like the work segment and everything. They're like 2 different timestamps, and then you can pick subjects, and then there'll be a whole 1 hour segment.
Awesome.
When you're free, they can just watch.
Awesome.
Yeah, so I mean, we've talked about basically everything that involves like around her lifestyle, all those things, even those stories. I mean, we won't get to that. She'll talk about that later. So yeah, it's been real. I appreciate everything.
Thank you so much for having me over.
Hey.
Wow, so red.
I should have left it there so that I can make people feel jealous the whole day. But so just to sum it all up, I normally ask people this. We've talked about all these things that bring balance and everything. But what's the one thing that you think right now, if that it came to like your life that you're trying to chase, and if you achieved it, it's going to give you like that peace of mind? And like, even though there's balance in all these other things that we're trying to do, like what's that one thing you think if it came to you like right now, or you achieved it right now, it will give you like some total peace, and then you can say like, okay, so now from here, I'm okay, and I can just start doing all these things without any pressure.
For me, it's actually a creative space. And for me, it comes in the form, it's actually, you remember one of the reasons I was telling you, I was thinking about selling my camera and I'm just selling off things, is because my creative space involves a lot of equipment, cooking.
Yeah.
There's all these new techniques that have come about, and they come with equipment.
Yeah.
And one of my goals is to create a space where I can have enough equipment that people can come in and also be able.
Yeah.
Because it's like, for photographers, there are studios they can rent out.
Yeah, yeah.
But for creatives who are in the kitchen, we don't have kitchen spaces. We can go and say, oh, you have this machine, can I come in? Even if it's sometimes for a small fee or something.
Yeah.
So we struggle to get those.
I remember like my friend he always told me like he was thinking of even doing something on an Airbnb.
Yeah.
He was like, but now in the long run, it's still not.
Yeah,
it still doesn't
make financial sense.
Yeah.
Because literally, you never think about it, but you want these equipments you see.
You do.
So someone might want to bake, but they can't whip out by hand the number of cakes they need to do.
Yeah.
So for me,
and present it,
and have that space. So for me, that creative space. That's what I'm building. That's what I'm saying. That's my foundation. Think
of it into existence. It will happen. Manifest.
Manifesting. That's what I'm saying. When you see us stressing and pulling off our hair and sometimes not talking on social media, like for me, if you see me disappearing from social media for a while, it's one of those times.
I can always tell.
Yeah, you just go quiet.
Yeah, I can always tell.
And then I start posting pictures or.
But for me, now I'm like the opposite. If I don't post, I'll go crazy.
Yeah, I take a step back.
I go crazy.
So it's a balance, but for me, my peace of mind is
once you figure that out,
once I figure out that space,
you're good.
Because I love creating. So I just need that.
Any person who's dating would be lucky, first of all.
You grow fat.
That's a bigger disadvantage, but from the meals that she whips out,
they don't know where my creativity ends. Maybe we'll work it all out. I leave you with that.
Oh, okay. So, ladies and gents, that was Sheila Rabala. Thank you so much for coming through another amazing episode of the Kisscapades Podcast.
I love that name.
It's going to air in a few weeks, hopefully. And it's going to be on iTunes, YouTube, Facebook as well. Segments and the full episode, just like we normally do.
Oh, wow.
Make sure you subscribe, like, and share with the people who need to hear this message.
And by the time this comes out, I really hope I'll have much more content on my YouTube channel, Sheila Rabala, so you check it out by then.
Oh, yeah. So, no, my apologies. I didn't ask you to plug anything.
No, I've plugged it already.
But you talked about like your website and everything. So where
where
can people contact? Where can people find you?
info@sheilarabala.com. Basically, go to sheilarabala.com.
Everything else is there.
Yeah.
Perfect. So till next time, guys. Goodbye. Thank you.
Asante watazamaji.